In this example, we need to increase the production rate of one of our lines. We'll utilize the factory design utilities and ProModel for AutoCAD Edition to study the potential cost impact of increasing production on the parts being made. Our current production is around 45 parts per shift, utilizing one CNC lathe with one operator. We have some ideas, but before we order any equipment or add any personnel, we need to make sure that what we propose will meet our production needs without dramatically increasing costs. The goal is to increase to 80 parts in a 10-hour shift. Our idea will require a capital expenditure for a second CNC lathe. Let's utilize ProModel simulation tools to validate our idea. In this AutoCAD drawing, we have some machine assets from the factory design utilities, which represent the machines in our current layout. ProModel's interface consists of a ribbon in the AutoCAD menu and a set of tool palettes in which to work and construct the simulation throughput model. This interface makes it very easy to understand who the model participants are, and also shows the structure of the flow through the manufacturing line. Each component and route has flow characteristics shown in the browser, including locations and resources, such as operators for the line. Considerations such as the movement speed, planned or unplanned downtime, and other factors such as cost can be added from here. Let's simulate the current state of the line with one lathe and one operator, providing our simulation model with our baseline performance. We can control the playback speed from the slider and also see the simulation clock on the right side. We can also see graphically where things begin to back up in our current layout. After ProModel collects the data, the findings are displayed in a configurable output viewer, which can be easily customized to your needs. Adding other charts is a simple drag and drop. The user can select the appropriate charts and graphs to clearly display the information that is important to them. Now that we have established our baseline, let's make some layout changes to reflect our proposed design. We will now utilize the Autodesk Factory Design Utility Library to find a lathe which suits our needs. Clicking on the selected asset, we now can drag and drop from our standard library to update our spatial layout. We'll now tell ProModel about the new machine in the process flow by simply selecting it as a new location. From there, we can reroute the flows to include this new CNC lathe. You always have the ability to add operational costing information to a new machine or asset by either entering a number or selecting a variable to represent it. The flow of the part through the line is easily modified. We simply include the new lathe in the flow and route the parts through it accordingly. In this case, from conveyor to lathe and finally to the parts washer. We now need to tell ProModel what to do in regards to how the parts are divided up between the two machines. We'll simply set 50% of the parts to go to one machine, and 50% to go to the other. We will also update how our resources behave. In this case, the operator interacts with the machine, and will specify a path of travel for the operator, which will perform assigned operations specifically at this machine's location. Let's rerun the simulation with the new machine in place, and a single operator assigned to both. As we can see, adding a machine with the same manpower actually makes our line slower and increases the cost per part produced. Using this scenario manager, let's try some different manpower configurations, along with the added machine. We can add scenarios easily and measure alternative results from our baseline using any combination of variables. In our case, we'll add people and then allow ProModel to do the heavy lifting for us. After running all scenarios, we can compare and contrast the results. It is obvious that adding people and a machine helps, nearly doubling the output with 3 operators. However, the cost per part goes up substantially. Going with 2 operators and 2 lathes increases our throughput to over 80 parts per shift, and is within our threshold for our cost per part. Now that we have confidence in the data, we can also provide a 3D model of the new manufacturing line easily, by using the Autodesk factory design utilities. We can also show the simulation in an intuitive 3D environment, assuring that all stakeholders fully understand what's being proposed. This concludes this series on ProModel AutoCAD. The easiest to use plugin of discrete event simulation, right inside AutoCAD. With the added benefit of 3D for free, and prescriptive ProModel simulation data, makes this an industry-leading solution for all your factory layout designs and simulation needs. Thank you.